Children, can you able to see that? Amma, can you able to see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
slide?
Yes, we are able to see it, madam. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Ah,
visible. Yeah.
okay, sir. Okay. Yes. Good evening, children. Good evening, children. Good evening.
You can open your
Good
mic and
evening,
then
ma'am.
speak. Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So your 11th standard, the first lesson is the living world. Okay. So what is the meaning of living? The organism capacity to perform functional activities is called as living. Please kindly make a note of it. Whenever I'm saying to note it, please make a note of it. Okay. So the word what is a living now? The organism can capacity to perform functional activities. Okay, which is called as living. Okay, so if you see in a living world, the organism can exhibit different characteristics. Okay, so they have a cellular organization, growth, metabolism, reproduction, consciousness, interactions, adaptations, like so many characteristics they have. Okay, so here first we are going to see what are each and every characteristic and we are going to discuss. Okay, so when we are discussing about the living world, we know the capacity to do a functional activity which is called as the living world. Here in the earth, if you see, we have a diversity of living organisms. Okay, the diversity means a large variety of living organisms we have in our earth. Okay, so like a plants, animals, insect, birds, pets. Okay, so like so many organisms we have. Okay, not only that, the organism which is not naked to our eyes, the organism which is not naked to our eyes, that is called as microorganisms. So that kind of organisms also which is present in our earth. Okay, so each and every organisms like a different plant, animal, organism. So whatever we see, so everything we can represent as what is that? As species. Okay, we can represent as a. Sir, someone want to join? I think.
Yeah, some will come a little late, but you can admit them, madam.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay. Okay. So
Students,
what is a
please
living?
join by 7:45 because if you join late, it will be disturbing the madam. No, so that you should.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is a living? A capacity to do functional activity, which is called as a living. In the world, if you see, we have a different variety of living organism, which is called as a diversity. Okay, so the different variety of organisms, na plant, insect, birds, microorganism, like so many organisms we have. Okay, each organism generally we represent as a species. Generally, we represent as a species. For example, plant. Each plant organism we can call it as a species. Each animals we can call it as a species. Okay. So around, if you see, nearly 1.7 to 1.8 millions of the species are which is found on the earth. Okay. What is the percentage? What is the percentage in your NCRT book? It was given 1.7 to 1.8 millions. Okay, organisms are present on the earth. Okay, so these all organisms together we can call as what is that? A biodiversity. Is it clear, children? Yes. Am I audible? You just say yes. Yes. Okay, here we are going to discuss a different variety of organisms. Okay, they have some of the general characteristic. So each organism, if you take, so they can able to do some particular functions. Okay, and if you see, they have some particular characteristics. So what are the characteristic? If you see, the first one is growth. The second one is development. The third one is that is responsiveness, that is consciousness, and that is stimulus also we can say responsiveness, consciousness, stimulus. So everything we can say, we can use the word. And adaptations and reproductions. Okay, and the life is a biochemical process. We have a lot of metabolic process also which takes place in our body. So these are the general characteristics we have all the living organism. Anybody, can you tell me what are the characteristic as a living organisms we have? What are the characteristic as a living organisms we have? Any one of them, please? Any one of them? What are the characteristic generally we have as a living things? What are the characteristic we have? Growth, development, responsiveness, adaptations, and reproduction. And also, biochemical process is nothing but it is a metabolism. Okay, so the metabolism means growth. Okay, growth and internal growth. Okay, and development. Okay, and what are the characteristic in that? First, we are going to see a growth. So the growth means increasing the mass and number of cells. The growth means nothing but increasing the, what is that, mass and number of cell, which is called as growth. Okay, children. Okay, so how this growth will happen? Na? The growth will happen with the help of the cell division. Okay, the growth will happen in our body, that is with help of the cell division. Okay, this cell division which is occur throughout the life. Okay, if you see in animals, the cell division which is takes place in a particular time period only. But when you take any plants, the cell division it takes place continuously throughout the life it takes place. Okay, when we are discussing about the cell division, there are two types of cell divisions we have. One is the mitotic cell division and another one is the meiotic cell division. What is the mitotic cell division? Na? The cell division which is help for the growth and development, which is called as, what is that? Mitotic. The meiotic cell division, na? The cell division which is important for the production of gametes. The meiosis which is important for the production of gametes, which is called as, what is that? Meiotic cell division. Is it clear, children? Yes? Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes,
Am
ma'am.
I audible? Yes, yes. Okay, please respond to me. Then only I can go with the flow. Okay. Okay. So what is the growth, ma? Make a note of it. What is the growth? Increase in mass and number, which is called as a growth. Okay. This growth, how it takes place? By the cell division. What are the types of cell division we have? Mitotic cell division, meiotic cell division. Mitotic cell division for growth and development. Meiotic cell division for production of gametes. Okay, if you see in animals, cell division which is takes place at a particular time only. At up to particular age, we reached the cell division will be stopped. But in a plants, if you see the cell division which is takes place throughout the life. Any doubt about it? Yes.
No, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. And next one, if you see as a multicellular organism, we have a cell divisions. Okay. Adhe madri, when a unicellular organism also grow by the cell division only. As a multicellular organism, it takes place. The growth is characteristic, takes place by the cell division. At the same time, unicellular organism also, okay, the growth will takes place by the cell division only. Okay. And also there is a question, the non-objects, non-living things, whether they will show the cell division or not, they will show the any growth or not, children? Yes, can you, anyone? Non-living things, whether it can able to grow or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, non-living things, how it will be? And can you give me example?
Mountains.
Yeah. See, mountains are growing that show the growth, that is due to accumulation of what is that? Materials on the surface. Okay, when we are accumulating the materials, it will grow. Okay, and sand mounds. Have you observed sand mounds? Sand also, if you see in the particular area, it will be a more. So that is due to accumulation of what is that? The substances. Okay, that is the reason is exhibit the growth. Is it clear, children? Okay, so in living organism, growth is from the inside. So make a note of it. Growth, therefore, cannot be taken as a defining property of living organism. Yes, we can take and living growth is a living property. It is a property of living organisms. Yes or no? See, that growth is a exhibit the what is that? A property of living things, but non-living things when the not exhibit the what is that? A growth. And also the dead bodies also which not exhibit the what? A growth. Okay, va? So this is what about the growth. Any doubt in this? And the next thing we are going the shape and size. Okay, the living organism we know they have a definite shape and size. Okay, and when it get modified to some extent when the growth occur, the shape and size, if you see, because of growth, our shape and size will be changed. So when we are in infant, when we are in a baby, when we are in a child, when we are in adult, when we are in childhood, adult, you see every time if you observe, our body shape will be size will be changing. Am I right? So why the size is changing now? That is due to accumulation of what is that? That is due to cell division. It takes place in our body. Because of cell division, growth is takes place in our body. Got it, children? Is it clear? Yes. So this is what about what? A shape and size. Living beings have been called as morphos. What do you mean by morphos? They have a definite shape. Okay, and amorphous na they don't have definite shape na which is called as amorphous. The morphous na they have what is that? A definite shape. Okay, so this is what about the growth you want to know here. And the next one is reproduction. Okay, what is the reproduction? What is the reproduction? The organism which can ability to produce their young ones, which is called as reproduction. Generally, there are two types of reproduction is there. One is asexual reproduction and another one is the sexual reproduction. Yes. So generally, if you see in multicellular organism, okay, the cell division it takes place for only the growth. But in a unicellular organism, the cell division which is considered as what is that? A reproduction. In unicellular organism, the cell division which is considered as what is that? A reproduction. Okay. For example, many organisms also will not perform the reproduction. For example, mules, the honey bee workers, the worker bees, and infertile human couples. Okay, so in this case, here there is no reproduction is takes place here. So hence, the reproduction we can not a perfect defining characteristic of living organism. So and also if you see without reproduction also we can continue our we can survive, but it is important for continuation of the species on the earth. But we are not why it is not possible to consider as the one of the living character na, because some organism without reproduction also can able to survive. For example, what are they? Mules, worker bees, infertile human couples and all. Yes or no, children? Yes. Am I clear? So,
Yes, ma'am.
what is reproduction? Reproduction is a capacity of organism to produce their young ones. Okay. There are two types of reproductions we have. One is what is that? Sexual reproduction, and another one is asexual reproduction. A sexual reproduction means two parents are involved, which is called as sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction means only single parent is involved, which is called as asexual reproduction. Okay, for example, fungi. Can you tell me how the fungi will be reproduced? With help of asexual spores. I think we have studied in the class 10th, right? What is that? Spore formation we have studied, no? Rhizophus. Yes, with help of asexual spores. Okay, fungi reproduce with help of asexual spores. And some lower organisms like yeast and hydra, which is undergo reproduction of what is that? Budding. And some platforms like planaria exhibit what is that? A regeneration. Yes. And some of the filamentous algae, okay, fungi and the filamentous algae, what is that? Spirogyra we have discussed now in the last class. Okay, so that is undergo with help of fragmentation. Yes, and also amoeba, we know that it is undergo what is that? Binary fission. Yes, yes or no, children? Is it
Yes, ma'am.
clear? Yes. Okay. So the non-living object they cannot able to reproduce, but the living organism can able to reproduce. Why they are not considering reproduction is a not defining character? Na some of the what is that mules, worker bees, infertile human couples also what happen? Not perform the reproduction, but they can able to survive here. Okay, va? So these things you want to know about reproduction. Increase the mass and number is called as growth. Okay, living organism it show the growth by cell division. Any like clear? Next, reproduction ability to perform, ability to produce young ones is called as the reproduction. Reproduction is asexual and sexual. Okay, asexual na single parent, sexual na two parents are involved. Okay, and the next one is even though many organisms, asexual, I gave example like a fragmentation, budding, and regeneration and binary fission. These all comes under the asexual. Sexual reproduction, only two parents are involved. When these two parents fusion takes place, that is two gametes fusion takes place, fertilization will be takes place, zygote will be formed, the zygote will be developed into new individual. So this is one of the character of reproduction. And the next one is metabolism. Am I clear? What is the next one? Metabolism. Okay, so it is one of the characteristic of life is a metabolism only. Okay, so every living organism is made up of chemicals. Am I right? Yes. Am I children? Am I right, children? Every organisms are made up of chemicals. Okay, these chemicals that is micro and macro chemicals. Okay, macro are related to various classes and size exhibit diversity of functions. Okay, so if you see the chemical reactions, the conversions and chemical reactions and metabolic reactions takes place in our body. Okay, what is that? What is a metabolism? Na? The reactions, whatever takes place internal, inside of our body. Okay, which is called as what is that? Metabolism. Okay, so metabolic reactions generally occur inside the what is that? Unicellular and multicellular living organism. Yes, not only unicellular, multicellular, all organism, plants, animals, fungi, as well as microbes also, what is that? Exhibit the metabolism. So how we will define the metabolism? How we will define the metabolism? Some total of all the chemical reaction occurring in our body. It's called as metabolism. Make a note it, children. Write it. Some total of some the sum total of all the chemical reactions occurring in our body is metabolism. Sum total of all the chemical reactions occurring in our body is metabolism. Yes? Yes or no, children? Okay. And so some total of all biochemical reaction taking place inside the living system is called as metabolism. Okay, so it takes place internally in our body. There are three types of metabolism we have. One is anabolism. What do you mean by anabolism? What is mean by catabolism? Anabolism and catabolism. Anybody can you explain? I think you have studied in the last year, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what do you mean by anabolism?
The formation of bigger
Uh,
molecules from small molecules.
it means bigger molecules from smaller molecule is called as
Catabolism.
then anabolism.
Formation of bigger molecules, ma'am.
Yeah, formation of what is that? Bigger molecules, which is called as what is that? Anabolism. So in between these two, we have what is that? Amphibolism also we have. Okay, we have a amphibolism also. Okay, can you give me for example of anabolism and catabolism?
Formation of glucose and breakdown of glucose.
Ah, very good. Formation of glucose is example of
Anabolism.
anabolism only. Can you give me the reaction name? Glucose is
Photosynthesis,
formed by
ma'am.
the process of photosynthesis, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
by the process of photosynthesis, the food is formed. So to form the food, like so many raw materials should be combined together, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yeah, combined together to form what is that? The glucose molecule. So this is comes under anabolism. The same way, the food should be breakdown in our stomach. Okay, we need what is that? Oxygen. So this breakdown reaction is called as what is that? A catabolism. You got it? Yes, children. Here they given the difference
Yes,
between the
ma'am.
anabolism and catabolism. Some total of constructive process. It is some total of destructive process. Constructive process and it is a destructive. It is breakdown process. It is combination. Constructive means nothing but what is that? It is a combination of, and it is a complex substance are formed from simpler ones. A simple substance are formed from complex ones. Here the energy is stored. Yes or no? A glucose is the energy which is stored. The glucose is the energy which is stored. Here the energy is released. The energy is released. Okay. And here the anabolism is required for the growth and maintenance. But here the catabolism required for what is that? Performance of the activities. Performance of the activities. You got it, children? Yes. Did you understand what is anabolism and catabolism clearly? The best example, anabolism is example of what is that? Photosynthesis. The catabolism is example for what? Respiration. Is it clear? Am I
Yes,
clear,
ma'am.
children? Yes, yes. Okay. So this is what one of the characteristics. So metabolism means nothing but biochemical reaction takes place inside our living system. Okay. So in the biochemical reactions, this metabolism process, which is every organism needed for the what is that? A growth. Okay. So every organism which is made up of what? A chemicals, including all plants, animals, fungi, microbes, every organism which is exhibit the what? A metabolism. So what is a metabolism? Some total of all the chemical reactions occurring in our body, which is called as what is that? A metabolism. Okay. And also what is that? That we have mentioned the point in vitro isolated metabolic reactions in vitro are not living things but are living reactions. Even though the test tube baby, do you know about it? Yes, children. So the test tube baby in vitro, okay, non-living things but surely living reactions. So that that thing also it is happening. Okay, in vitro generally we are saying metabolism takes place inside our body, but in some cases the in vitro fertilization and all what happen, we are doing it in the outside the body of the organisms also. And the next one is cellular organization. Okay, when we discuss about cellular organization, we know every organisms are made up of a cell. A cell is the structural and functional unit of the living organisms, right? Okay, so if you see, we have a based on the number of cells are present, the organisms we can classify it into unicellular organism, multicellular organism, and acellular organisms. So if you take every organism, the basic, the proper sequence we have, the every organism which starts with the what is that? A cell. Okay, every organism it starts with the cell. So the proton, neutron, and electrons, these all together we can call atoms. From the atoms to compounds, from the compounds to we have what is that? A cells, cells to tissue. Every organism combined together. Okay, cell is the structural functional unit of organism. When all the cells are combined together, we have a tissues. A tissue means a group of cells. Okay, a similar or dissimilar, a tissue is a group of cells, whether it is similar or dissimilar, perform what is that? Some particular function. When all the tissues are combined together, which form the organs. When the organs are combined together, which form the, what is that, organ system. So finally, when the all organ system together, we can call it as, what is that, organism. This is the way what happened, our biological hierarchy we have in our lifetime. Yes or no, children? Is it clear or not?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes. Okay, and the next one is a consciousness. Okay, we are going inside the lesson. The last point about the living things we are going to discuss, consciousness. So consciousness also we can say as, what is that, stimuli, right? Yes, we can able to sense their surroundings or not. We can able to respond to the stimuli or not, children. Yes, we can able to respond to, what is that, different stimuli, that is physical, chemical, and biological stimuli. We can able to respond it, right? Yes, I think we have studied last year control and coordination lesson. Plants will respond to, what is that, external factors like a light, water, temperature. Yes or no? If it is light, if it is respond, which is called as phototropism. If it is respond to the chemical, which is called as a chemo. Yes, water, it is called as hydrotropism. Yes, we have discussed. Okay, even every organism, na, even prokaryotes, eukaryote, all the organism we have, what is that? A response to the particular stimulus. Yes, children? Okay. And the next one, a photo period. If you discuss about plant, we need to know about photo period. What do you mean by photo period? Yes, what do you mean by photo period? Okay, photo means light, period means duration. Okay, the light duration is very, very important for each and every organisms. Am I correct, our children? If you take example, if a plant have get a more sunlight, it can able to synthesize the food. Yes, it can able to synthesize the food when plant have, what is that, a proper sunlight. The same time when we animals, as animals also, if we have a light duration, it can able to breed. Yes, the seasonal breeds also will change. Okay, so the this also, what is that, a photo period, the light is one of the example, the plant will respond it, for that we can say that. Yes, am I clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so we can conclude that all organisms aware of their surroundings. Is it clear? So all organisms are aware of their surroundings. So we know that rainy season when it comes, the we can in the within a 6 o'clock time it will become a dark, right? Yes. When the summer is there, the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock also it will be not the sunlight we have. So that period time when it is important for what? Animals to breed. So அதுவும் வந்து என்னது, it will respond to it. Okay, so the self consciousness we can become, what is that, one of the defining property of the living organisms. Yes or no? Yes. Can you tell me one example, if it is possible to living state in our body, we can able to say that we can have a self consciousness? Anyone?
Yes,
In
ma'am.
human beings we have a self consciousness, my question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Amma. Okay, in such a patient condition, if the
No, ma'am.
condition is state living but is a patient, can you able to say it is a living consciousness about it?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so when the patient the brain dead people, okay, and they actually the patient no consciousness, right? Okay, the patients when the whoever never they come back to, what is that, normal life. So they cannot, they are living but without consciousness, right? Am I right, children? Yes, so this is what one case we can think about it here. Yes, so this is about the consciousness. Yes, now I'm going to enter to the lesson. Okay, I'm going to enter the 7th standard syllabus. So this is what is the living things, what are the general characteristic features we have. Okay, it is neat point of it is very, very important topic. Once I have completed now, I'll share you the material. Okay, apart from 10th 11th standard book textbook, I will share the integrated book material. Just go through it once. Okay. Yes. The next one is diversity in the living world. I told already. So we have a number of species, nearly 1.7 to 1.8 millions of species are living in the earth. Am I right, children? Yes, and also microorganism, everything is living here. Okay, a great number of organisms are present on the earth. Yes. So that number of variety of organisms we can call as what? A diversity. Yes, and the biological concept of species. So I told every organisms are called as we have a different variety of organism. Every organisms represent as a species. I told right. Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. What I told. There are different variety of organisms are there. There are nearly 1.7 to 1.8 millions of species are living in there. Each species, each organisms, generally we can represent as what is that? Species. Generally we can represent as a species. Okay, so a biological concept of species. This the word was given by, please make a note, Ernest Mayer. ERNST. Ernest Mayer. Make a note of it. The word. Who gave the word the concept of species? Who gave the word as concept of species? Ernest Mayer. Okay. Yeah. Ernest Mayer. ERNST MAYR. Okay. So what is a species now? A species is a group of organisms which are closely related. Okay. Structurally and functionally, they are closely related and they are sharing a common gene pool and which can interbreed freely in nature, and they can able to fertile offspring in natural environment, which is called as species. Is it clear what how you will define a species? The word species was given by Ernest Mayer. Okay, the species means a group of organisms where closely related, that is structurally and functionally closely related species are sharing a common gene pool. A common gene pool will be shared and they can able to interbreed among themselves, and it can produce the fertile in a natural environment, which is called as species. Any doubt, children? Is it clear, children? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what about the what species definition, you should know that. Yes. Okay, and the next one is the basic I told. Okay, now we are going with what is that? The taxonomy. Okay, about the species, any doubt? You want to know what is the species? Species means what is that? A group of species which is structurally and functionally related to what is that? Each other, and they have a common gene pool. They can able to interbreed among themselves, and they can produce the what is that? A fertile organisms, which is called as what? A species. Is it clear? Yes. So the next we are entering to the taxonomy. What is a taxonomy? If you see, I told we have a so many species in the earth, right? Okay, these species we cannot normally we cannot call in the we are using based on the different area. We are using what? Local names. Am I right? Yes, the local names are vary place to place. Am I correct, children? Yes, the local names are vary from place
Yes, ma'am.
to place. Yes, yeah. So within the same country also, if we observe some species which is a vary, so it will be a lot of confusion. Am I right? The same species, if they are calling in same country itself different names, na, it will confusion for everyone, right? Okay, to avoid this confusion, the local names, the standardized naming of living organism was introduced. This is called as what is that? All over the world, which is accepted. This process is called as nomenclature. The process is called as what is that? Nomenclature. Any doubt? So nomenclature means nothing but naming of an organism correctly in the a standardized form. Yes, is it clear? What is a nomenclature? So in the earth we have so many different species. Each species which is vary place to place. They generally we use what is that local name to call a species, but it is vary from place to place. So the nomenclature is based on the local names Okay, the local names are standardized. They are using what? With help of the nomenclature, they have given what is that? A standardized one. Okay, and so this is what about the nomenclature. So nomenclature means nothing but what is that? Name all over the world. What is that? A naming of the living organism. A standardized naming of living organism, which is called as what is that? Nomenclature. Any doubt? Yes. So the nomenclature also which is possible when the organism is described correctly. Yes. Am I right or not, children? Is it clear? What is nomenclature? No doubt, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. The naming is possible only when the organism is correctly described. Am I right? If we describe correctly a particular organism only, we can able to name. For example, if you take a particular plant, we should think whether it is a monocot or a dicot, whether the organism have a fibrous root or a fibrous root or tap root, whether the organism have a leaf venation like a parallel venation or reticulate venation, whether the organism inflorescence it is comes under racemose or it is comes under the what is that solitary, and like different inflorescence method we have. So based on all the proper description only we can able to name the organism, right? Okay, so here we need what is that? Identification. Okay, so for nomenclature, we need to describe the organism correctly. Okay, so the describing organism correctly, which is called as what is that? Identification. This process is called as what is that? Identification. Understood, children? Okay, the nomenclature or naming is possible when the organism is correctly described. Thus, to know to which organism name is attached, it's called as what is that? An identification. Yes, am I right, children?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
yes. And the next thing is there are different scientists. Okay, they have tried. Okay, to naming of organisms. Finally, the who's that? Linnaeus classification was accepted by all over the world. Okay, all over the world accepted by what is that? The Linnaeus classification only. Okay, here the scientific names are based on the specific principles and criteria. Okay, was for every organism identification was given by the ICBN, International Code for Botanical Nomenclature, and also what is that? ICZN, that is International Code for Zoological Nomenclature. Okay, so with the help of them, what happen? The animals and plants can able to describe properly. Proper identification with a standardized names can be given. Okay, so the branch of science which deals with the study of what is that? The nomenclature, identification, all this comes under no, which is called as a taxonomy. It is the identification, classification, and nomenclature and documentation of the organism. Okay, and systematic. Systematic means nothing but in a proper way the arrangement was done. The proper hierarchy, the arrangement was done. Okay, so in the book named as, please make a note, Systema Natura is the book written by Carolus Linnaeus. In this book only, they have explained what is that? The systematic arrangement of what? The species or the organism. What is the systematic arrangement? If you see, always in the base, we should have a species, Next to species, we have what is that? A genus. Next to the genus, we should have a what is that? Family, then order, class, a phylum or a division. Phylum for animals, a division for plants. And the next one, we should have what is that? Kingdom. So this is the a proper way of systematic arrangement while naming the organism. Is it clear, children? Am I right, children? Is it clear? Am I audible? Okay, just listen one more time. So the diversity of living organisms. Here we are going to discuss so many organisms we have. So many organisms are what is that? Should be naming properly. For giving a proper name, we should what is that? Describe the organism properly. So we should have a identification of the organisms. Okay, so this was the identification, nomenclature. These all are what is that? Done with help of a standardized describing characters. This criteria based on that. Okay, the international code for a botanical nomenclature, the international code for zoological nomenclature. Okay, these only what is that? They are naming the what? The organisms. Okay, and the taxonomy means nothing but okay, the study of what? Identification, classification, nomenclature, and documentation of organism is called as a taxonomy. In this taxonomy, all the organisms are arranged in the a systematic manner. Manner means in the proper way we should arrange the organism. The proper way means always the species should come in the a base, the first level, that is a base level. From the species only a genus will be formed. From the genus only we have a family. From family, order to class, or class to a division and kingdom. So this is the way the organisms are what happen. The organisms are systematically arranged. So the book name is Systema Natura. In this book only, what is that? The written by Carolus Linnaeus. Here we have explanation about what is that, how the systematically it should be arranged. Is it clear, children? Yes. Am I
Yes, ma'am.
clear? Yes. I'm going little speed. Is it okay for you? It is
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
children. Yes. Shall I ask so few questions, one or two questions, then I'll move to the next. Yes. Shall I? Shall I ask? Yes. Can you tell me who gave the biological concept of species? Who gave the biological concept of species?
Ernest Mayer, ma'am.
Ernest Mayer. Okay, what is species? You want to know, this is the basic one. This lesson based on the species only, everything is come. So it is the basic one, right? What is a species?
It is the basic unit, ma'am.
Basic unit. Okay, basic unit. And here the organisms have what is that? They have some closely related, what is that? Related to each other in the structurally and functionally. They have a same gene pool. They can able to what is that? Interbreed to produce the young ones. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And some additional points I'll give you regarding the species. So based on the reproductive isolation, that is exception of biological species are a sterile human couple. Okay, and some important interspecific hybrids I'll give you. A sterile human couple. Okay, so for example, we used to say mule, right? MULE. I told it is a reproductive character does not have. I told, right? So what is a mule now? A male donkey with a female horse, which is called mule. A male horse with a female donkey is called as hinny. Please make a note. Some important interspecific hybrids. Please make a note. Under natural condition, it is sterile hybrid. Male donkey with a female horse is called mule. A male horse with a female donkey is called hinny. And fertile hybrid under capitative condition. This natural condition na naturally it should take place. Capitative condition na under our control. Example, fertile hybrid Male tiger with a female lion is an example of fertile hybrid. Tigon, and male lion with a female tiger is called as liger.
Like
Yes, make a note of it. It's a fertile hybrid amma. For species, it can able to interbreed among themselves. I gave some example. Sterile hybrid mule means nothing but male donkey with a female horse. Okay, male horse with a female donkey is hinny. A fertile hybrid under capitative condition, a male tiger and female lion, tigon. A male lion with a female tiger is called as liger. Is it clear? Yes, I think you know what is the nomenclature, what is the identification, what is the full form of ICBN? What is the full form of ICBN? What is the
international
full form? Ah,
code for
code for
botanical nomenclature, ma'am.
nomenclature. It is for a plant. For animals, it is a zoological nomenclature. Okay, va? Yes, children.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, according to this nomenclature, every organism have what is that? Only one name. Got it? Yes, children.
Sure, ma'am.
Yes. The next one. The biologists follow universally accepted principle for providing scientific name to known organisms. Okay. So, for example, two components are there. Okay, there is two components are there. One is a generic name and another one is specific epithet, right? Yes or no? For example, Mangifera indica.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I am going to tell how the nomenclature of organism was done. Okay. For example, every organism is okay. Biologically, it is accepted in the earth. Okay. They have some scientific names. They have some common names also. Okay. Every scientific name, if you take, they have two components. One is the generic name and another one is a specific epithet. Such system of providing name with the two component is called as binomial nomenclature. What is the binomial nomenclature? System of what is that? Naming the organism by two component. One is the a generic and another one is the a specific. Specific means nothing but species. So, which is called as what is that? A binomial nomenclature. This naming system was given by who's that? Carolus Linnaeus. So this is the way all over the world, all biologists, they are practicing. Okay, if we give a two word, it is a convenient to everyone. It is accepted by everyone. For example, if you take a mango, the Mangifera indica is the scientific name. Okay, manga engiradhu vandu mango engiradhu it is a common name, but it is a Mangifera indica it is a scientific name. Okay, here the Mangifera represent the genus. The indica will represent the what is that? Species. That is a specific epithet. So we have here two names. Okay, so this is what? Binomial name. Okay, so while giving a binomial names, we should have some of the rules and regulation. While binomial nomenclature, when we are giving, we have what is that? A certain rules and regulations. Okay, so what are they? Rules for binomial nomenclature. Okay, always the biological names are should be in the where? A Latin word. Okay, so always the biological name should be in the Latin word. If we are writing, it should be in the italic. Yes, am I right? Okay, so Latin word we have to give. If it is in the written form, we need to write in italics. They are Latinized or derived from Latin irrespective of their origin. And always the word biology name when we are using, the genus will be a second component and the genus will be a first component. The second component denote what is that? A specific epithet. In biological name, when we are representing, the genus will be a first component. The second component will be what is that? A species. Okay, so both the words in the biological name, when we are writing the both words, okay, when they are handwritten, the both words are biological names are separately underlined. When we are typing, we no need to underline. Okay, but we are handwritten. When we are handwritten, we should, what is that? Underline it. Okay, is it clear, children? Both the words in a biological names, when handwritten or separately underlined, are printed in italic to indicate the Latin origin. So when we are printing it, we are going with the Italian. Okay, so it will be indicates the Latin origin. Yes, children. And always the genus, when we are mentioning, the first letter should be in a capital. Okay, the genus, when we are writing, the first letter should be in a capital. But while writing a species, the first letter should be in a, what is that? Small. That is small letter we need to mention. For example, we have a Mangifera indica. We have, right? If you see an example, it was given. Mangifera, it was the first letter genus was mentioned as capital letter. But in the small, second word, that is species, we have mentioned as, what is that? A small letter only. Yes? Yes, children? So what are the rules need to be followed? First one, another, always should be written in the italic form. Not Latin form, the Latin. Generally, it is in the Latin and written in the italics. Yes. And two components should contain. The first component is, what is that? Genus. The second component is, what is that? Species. Okay. And when we are handwritten, this genus species, when we are handwritten, both should be underlined separately. Okay, and the both should be underlined separately. And when we are writing the first letter, when we are not only writing, always the genus, the first letter should be in the capital form. The small letter, the species small, first letter should be in the small form. Yes, is it clear? Yes, children. Am I right, children? Am I audible? Yes. Apart from that, I give you few extra point. Okay. For example, after the specific epithet, that is at the end of the biological name, the name of the author, okay, written in the abbreviated form. For example, Mangifera indica. Okay, it was given by who's that? The author name is Linnaeus. So we need to write in the abbreviation form, Linn. It indicates that the species was described by Linnaeus. Make a note of it. Yes. Yes, children. Okay, so what is that? After the specific epithet, the biological name, the scientist who described about the particular species should be mentioned as a abbreviated form. Okay, and the next one, Amma. A scientific name with same word used for genus and species, it is called as tatonym. Tautonym. Please make a note. What is that? Tatonym. What is tatonym? I am trying to use
Ma'am,
pen.
both the specific and common name
Ah,
is
both genus and species. What is that? Both the genus and species. Both have a same word. That means is called as a tatonym. Tautonym. Okay, they are invalid only for botanical names. For example, Naja Naja. What is that? What scientific name for?
king
Indian
cobra.
cobra. Indian cobra, that is called Naja Naja. And another one organism, Malus malus, is called as Pyrus malus. It is one of the example. So, what is that? A scientific name with same word used for genus and species. Scientific name with the two also same word we are using now, that is called as tatonym. They are invalid only for botanical names. Example, Naja Naja, you can write it. Okay, and also we are giving right families. Yes, next to the genus we have a family, right? If in this case you see, you could able to see After the genus, the families was given, right? The families and subfamilies are given based on the type of genus only. Okay. For example, Brassicaceae. After the genus, Brassica. Astraceae. After the genus, Aster. Okay. So that is the way it was given based on the genus. Please make a note of it. The name of the families and subfamilies should be based on the type of genus. Example, Brassicaceae after the genus Brassica. Astraceae after the genus Aster. Yes? Yes, children? Okay. And the next one more point. One name for the two different plant is called as one name for two different. Say ஒரே name வந்து two different species இருந்துச்சுன்னா which is called as homonym. Make a note of it. HOMONYM. Homonym. One name for two different plants is called as homonym. Example, Frenus dulci. PRUNUS. Children, are you there? I'm audible. Am I audible, children?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a respond. Okay. Homonym. Make a note of it. Homonym, autonym. What do you mean by autonym? Homonymna one name for two different plants. ஒரே name two different plants இருந்துச்சுன்னா which is called homonym. Example, Frenus Prunus Prunus dulci. That is both name for almond and plum. ரெண்டுக்குமே same common name is there. The two different plant with one name. And name with the same word for a species. Plant na homonym. Name with same word for a species and subspecies is called as autonym. Example, Curvus splendens, it is a species. Subspecies also splendens. Are you noting it? Yes. What is that?
Yes, ma'am.
What is that? Autonym na name with the same word for a species and subspecies. Example, Curvus splendens and splendens. Splendens is a species and another one splendens is the subspecies. One name for the two different plant is called as homonym. Example, Frenus dulci. Example, Frenus dulci. Example for almond and plum. Yes. Yes, children. We'll go to the next one. Yeah. So, yeah. So this is the way we are studying different organisms, right? So this is the rules we are using to naming of what? A different organisms. Okay. To study all living organism in proper process is necessary, which is called as what is that? A classification. So to study all this organism in a proper way, okay, we should organism should be grouped proper, right? Okay, so the grouping of organism into convenient categories, okay, based on the some of the observable character. Okay, okay, which is called as what is that? A classification. So we know, right? Even a plant is plant nale we can able to grouping the organism. They have a root, stem, observable character, leaf. They have these characters. Now we can grouping into what? Plant. The animals or a dogs or cat or insect. Okay, so when we see these organism, they have some of the what is that? A character with same. When we think about a dog, yes, okay, a cat. Okay, if you see all these things, they have some similarities, right? Similarly, if you see a mammals, yes, they are visualized as animals with external ears and body hair and all. Yes, am I right? So if you take animals like cat, dog, and mammals, they have some of the character external appearance. They have a similar. Okay, and same way when we are they're talking about a wheat, a picture. Okay, so what you will get in your mind? Okay, so when we are thinking rice, wheat, and all, we could able to describe is these are comes under the plant because the characteristics are matched with that, right? Okay, so we can classify the wheat, rice as a plants. Same a dog, cattle, and mammal as a what is that animals like a convenient categories. We are using what? Are we are following it. Okay, so the scientifically these categories are called as taxa. Now got it? What is taxa? The scientific name for these categories. We are categorizing the organisms. No, did you get the point? So when we are, what is a classification? All the living organisms should be what is that? A classified, right? So classifying the organism is called as classification. For example, the classification is done with the help of what? A proper grouping of organisms in a convenient way. Okay, based on the observable character we are classifying now, which is called as what is that? Classification. So when you take example as a plant and animals, if you see all plants have certain characteristic root, shoot, plant, leaf, everything green color like. When you take a cat and dogs, if the shape are different also, the external characters when we see, they have a body has, they have a ears, nose, like every organism they have externally, they have some of the characteristic, right? So we are categorizing, no, like this is comes under animals, this is comes under the plants, like we are scientifically, we are categorizing, na. So that is called as taxa. Yes. Yes or no, children?
Yes, ma'am.
So, for example, plant is a taxa. Okay, here the wheat is another taxa. So, animals, if you take mammals, dogs are all the taxa. Okay, yes or no? So, each one we can call it as a taxa. Plant is a taxa, animal is a taxa. So, what we can define as a taxa means what is that? A scientific term for the categorize. Okay, scientifically, the organisms are categorized or called as what is that? A taxa. Yes, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, yes. Okay. So this is what about what? We want to know about the taxa. Yes, children. Yes. And the next one, we know the what is the taxonomy. The taxonomy means already told. What is that? The identification, characterization, and naming of organism is called as a taxonomy. In the taxonomy, all organisms are arranged in the systematic arrangement. That is arranged in the proper way. Okay, arranged in the a proper way. In the taxonomy, the book, okay, the Carolus Linnaeus introduced the book Systema Natura. Here they have arranged what is that? Different organisms. Okay, va? So this is what about what you want to know. Okay, the next topic we are going with what is that? A taxonomic categories. So what are the taxonomic categories we have? Yes, we'll move with the next topic, taxonomic categories. So generally we have a taxonomic categories. This is for plant. If you take the basic one is what is that? The basic unit in a taxonomy na வந்து எதுனா species. From the species genus, then family, order, class, division I told. For plant வரும்போது next to the class you should write the division and then kingdom. When it comes for animals, first species, then genus, family, order, class, phylum. Instead of division, we should have what is that? Phylum and a kingdom. We should write it. Okay, for example, if you take an example, Homo sapiens is a animals. As we only comes under what is that? Homo sapiens. Okay, here the species is what is that? Sapiens. A genus is Homo. Family is Hominid. The order is Primata. Class is Mammalia. The phylum is Chordata. Okay, so when it is comes in plant it should mention division and the kingdom வந்து Animalia. So like that we need to mention it. Yes, yes, children. We'll move with the taxonomic characteristic. Shall I take for 5 minutes class?
Okay, ma'am.
For 5 minutes, I'll taxonomic categories alone. Just I will explain. When it comes next class, we will go with a brief explanation about it. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. The taxonomic categories. Okay, already I told a group of individual, what is that? Organism. Fundamentally, they have what is that? Similarities. Already we know, we discussed about what is a species in the earlier topic, right? A group of species which have structurally, functionally similar character. They have both same gene pool and they can able to interbreed among themselves and they can able to produce the young ones. That is fertile ones. We can call as what is that? A species already we discussed, right? So it is the lowest category in the taxonomy. Yes. Yes, children. Yes. So when we are before going with the taxonomic categories, we want to know a general some instructions. So actually, if you see the classification means we are know the grouping of organism based on the external characters or observable character, right? But it is not a one-step process. There is a hierarchy is there. That hierarchy only what we can call as a category we can call as. Okay, generally all this category, overall taxonomic arrangement we can call as taxonomic category. So this entire, for example, I told na species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, kingdom. This arrangement only we can call as what is that? Taxonomic category. Yes, they have certain hierarchies. Okay, so this category is referred to unit of the classification. Okay. Yes,
Okay,
children.
ma'am.
Yes, yes. And so we'll go with the next one about a species. Okay, so species, we know that. Okay, there are so many species. I have explained about the species also. There are so many species. Can you give me example? I told about Mangifera indica. Can you name any one of the species? Solanum tuberosum. Example for potato. Panthrolio. What do you mean by panthrolio? What is the organism called? It is a scientific name, Panthroleona. What is the organism?
Lion, ma'am.
Huh? Lion. Yes. Okay. Yes. So if you see all these three names, what is the species was given? Can you tell me one of them? Mangifera indica, Solanum tuberosum, and Panthrolio. Among these, all these three, what is the same one you have? Tell me. All the species are same here. Tuberosum, Leo, and Indica. These all three are same. Same? No, right? Different, right? So it will represent the what is that specific epithet. The first word, Mangifera, Solanum, Panthro, these will represent the what is that? A genus. Yes, this will represent the what? Genus. Okay, ma'am. So if you see each genus, if you take each genus, it may have one or more than one specific epithet. Okay, for different representing the organism. Okay, for example, Panthera has another specific epithet. Okay, Tigris and Solanum includes, okay, Nigrum also. Ma, got it? If you take a genus, அதாவது மூணு organism பார்த்தோம். Mangifera indica, Panthrolio, and another one is what is the organism name? What is the organism name we discussed? Potato, Solanum tuberosum, Mangifera indica, and also what is that? Panthrolio. த்ரீ ஆர்கனிசல பார்த்தாலும் the species வந்து என்னது டிஃப்ரெண்டா இருக்கு. ஓகே, the species are different, right? அதே மாதிரி when you take a genus Solanum tuberosum for potato also we can write. Solanum nigrum for what is that? A spinach. We can use for what? Spinach. மணத்தக்காளி கீரைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல. For that we can use the word what is that? Solanum nigrum and Solanum esculentum. So the genus வந்து என்ன இருக்கு? Have one or more specific epithet they have. Not only ஒன்னு மட்டும் கிடையாது species. ஒவ்வொரு ஜீனஸ்க்கும் வந்து என்னது 2 or more என்னது specific epithet வந்து இருக்கும். For example, Solanum alone I told. Solanum nigrum is one of the organism, one of the species. Solanum tuberosum, Solanum esculentum. Okay, Solanum esculentum for brinjal. Oh, sorry, Solanum esculentum for tomato. ஓகே, ஸோ ஒவ்வொரு ஆர்கானிசமும் ஜீனஸ் வந்து சேம், பட் ஸ்பீசிஸ் வந்து என்ன ஆகுது? வேரி ஆகுது. ஓகேவா? அதே மாதிரி பேந்த்ரா, லியோ ஆல்சோ வி கேன் சே Panthera, a tiger is also we can say. Okay. And for us, we have what is that? Homo sapiens. For us, the sapiens is a species, Homo is a genus. Yes. Understood. So this is what about the species. Is it clear? And so what is the lowest category and fundamental basic unit of taxonomical category? Which one you will tell? You will tell about species. Got it, children? Yes, we'll
Yes,
wind up.
ma'am.
We'll wind up, children. Only genus alone I'll explain. Next class we'll go with the family order and we'll finish this lesson. We'll start in the next lesson. Otherwise, I'll go with this only in the next class.